I usually put out videos that are quite different than this. I usually do instructional videos and just fun videos of me working on job sites, educating about the machines, things like that. This video is going to be a little different. Something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while and just wasn't quite sure how I should bring it out. But, I've been working in this industry for a long time. I've run asphalt mills, working nights, um, working days, working in the heat. And I've seen just about everything, but the one thing that has never changed since day one of me doing this kind of work in this business is the crews that work with me. Most of the people I've worked with over the years are Spanish speaking. They're some of the hardest working, most loyal people I've ever met. They take pride in what they do and they don't ask for handouts. They show up and they work hard right alongside the rest of us, work harder than the rest of us the majority of the time. And I have a great respect for that. But lately I've been noticing a change. Smaller crews, people disappearing. Some of the smaller companies are struggling to keep manpower on their crews. And, I just can't really not say anything anymore. I know it's a little bit different kind of video for me. Hopefully I'm not rambling too much, but ICE is out there and it's starting to have an effect on our industry and construction and pretty much every other aspect of the workforce and the labor force. Small companies, again, are struggling. I've heard it from people directly. And even if it isn't affecting them directly, it's affecting their family, their friends, and their children. And it's preventing them from being able to come to work and feel safe. And that's just not okay. People are afraid and they're afraid to go to work. And that is just a crazy thing to have happening. And what makes me sick, really, really sick, is we're watching the politicians in this in this country. They're acting like this is helping, like punishing people that are doing this hard work for us is helping. And it's not. It's really not. I hear people say, well, I don't want to support these illegal immigrants. I don't want to pay for their health care, and I don't want to be paying, for them paying taxes when they're not. Well, that's one thing that's not true anyway. Most, if not all, are paying their fair share of taxes also. And me personally, I know I'm privileged to be in the union and to have my health care covered through that. But a lot of these companies and a lot of these workers are not union. They don't have that same privilege. And to want to cut them off from that, I mean, personally, I'm happy to support them because they're out there working hard. They're busting their ass with everybody else, no different than what I do. And we have a president in the office right now who is more concerned about getting millions and millions of dollars in donations to build a great, huge ballroom, but he's talking about not wanting to pay for the SNAP benefits and the food stamps, things like that. Now, I grew up in a poor family. We needed food stamps to put food on the table, so I can relate to this. And the myth out there is that these are all lazy people that don't want to work, that want to live off the government, and that is just not true. Most of the time, these people are working full-time and still can't afford to put food on the table for their children. And that's the times we're living in. It's very sad. And, these policies that the government's putting out, they're anti-worker is what they are. They're anti-union, and they just have no common sense. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs to be union. That's a big part of the workforce, true. But there's a lot of smaller companies that aren't. And this is not just the road construction. This is across the farming communities, the food industry, everything. and it needs to be spoke out about. And I know I may lose followers. I may, piss off the MAGA crowd. And if you don't like what I have to say, that's fine. You can hit unfollow. You can turn off the YouTube video. You don't have to listen to me. That's okay. I'm totally good with that. But this is not normal, and this is not okay. And someone needs to say something. And I hope more people do say something, because these are good people. These are our brothers and sisters on the job. They're the ones that are working on the roads, making sure they're ready when you get up in the morning, and making sure your infrastructure is safe. None of these people are asking for handouts. None of them are begging for money. They're begging for work. And that's one thing that I respect the most. I've never seen any of the Spanish-speaking labor force on my crews being the lazy ones. They're the ones there shoveling. I've had coworkers that can barely speak any English whatsoever jump under the machine with me and help me change teeth, and have no idea how to even do it, but they're ready to grab the hammer and the pick and get under there and sweat with me. And I respect that. I really do. So this is what hard work looks like. And to want to remove this whole workforce from the country is just asinine. It's the stupidest thing that could ever happen. And it's going to end up affecting every single one of us, as it already has. And it's only going to get worse. So I think that ICE is way out of line. I think they hide who they are behind masks and want to be this secret police that is enforcing the laws, and what they're really doing is tearing families apart, hurting people, and hurting America's infrastructure is what they're doing. And this isn't just, I say, like, not across road work. This is road work. This is the people that build homes, that feed us, that do the work that the majority of us don't want to do, and they do it with a smile on their face, and they're happy as can be to have a job and be able to do that and to support their families. They're not doing this to get rich. They're doing it to survive. And I really respect that. So again, I know this is a little bit different video, but it's just something that I've been thinking about and wanted to say, and wanted to use a little bit of a platform that I do have here on YouTube to say something about it. So again, I think there's something seriously wrong with the opinions and the viewpoints of the MAGA crowd. I think it's way, way out of line, and they're hurting the people that are the most vulnerable, and basically, they're hurting the people that are building the country. This is the labor force of the country, especially here in California, but I know it's the same nationwide too, in different parts of the country. So yeah, I'm speaking up about this now because it's something I feel strongly about. These people and the families that they go home to, that matters. And enough's enough. More people need to speak up and say something. And I'm more than happy to help support these families, and looking for more ways that I can do that. So hopefully the politicians get a clue. Hopefully the funding continues for the SNAP benefits and all the other programs that are helping keep these people safe, keep them having health care and putting food on the table for their families. But to my Spanish-speaking brothers out there that I work with every day, I respect you. I really do. And we all should. But that's just all I wanted to say. And feel free to reach out in the comments. We'll continue the conversation. And again, if you don't like what I have to say, that's fine. You don't need to watch me. But I hope you're all being safe. I hope you all just hope you all can survive this, because things are getting really bad really quickly. And anyone that doesn't see that is just got blinders on as far as I'm concerned. So that's all I had to say. I hope you have a good one.